This is Sarah Noel Block, and this is the podcast that helps B2B service businesses do more with less. Learn lean, actionable, organic marketing strategies you can implement today. No fluff, just powerful growth tactics that work. Ready to scale smarter? Hit that subscribe button and start growing your business with tiny marketing.
I'm Melissa Armstrong, the CPA, fractional controller, and nope, I don't do taxes.
Yay! So Melissa has been in the Tiny Marketing Club since last January.
Yeah,
And she's going to talk a little bit about her time inside of the club and then how it kind of bounced her into this role as a digital networker, teaching other people how to do it, because you really are the master. You're so good at it.
oh my gosh. I think it's wild that it's about to be a year since we've known each other.
I know.
I remember I got into TMC by buying into your Black Friday
Yes.
offer, which you extended until like your birthday. It was kind of like your whole celebration. Yeah, it was a January start. And so, whew, if I think about like everything that has happened in this year, it's like a lot. It feels like 3 years have gone by.
I know. That is such a good reminder because now I have to post that like this week so it aligns with our anniversary.
Yeah, yeah. And if I think about Melissa at that time, I was like, okay, I registered my business at the end of July, but really, really dove in full time at the end of September. Um, and honestly, that first client that I was working on, I remember it was a project client, and they came to me because the owner of the company is married to my best friend.
A nice
So he was
connection.
one of the first ones to give me the push to like go solo, but it was a project engagement.
Yes.
And after that, I was like, what am I gonna do? Everybody says that business in our industry is 99% referral based, but how am I gonna make that happen? So I knew I needed help. Like, okay, people talk about marketing and I have no idea. Like,
Yeah.
here, you need accounting, pay me.
Yeah. You're in like everybody is in the same shoes as you because when you're doing a service, you're good at your thing. And then you're like, oh shit, I also need to learn how to sell, market, manage a business. And that's not the stuff that you had to do when you were just doing accounting.
Yeah.
It's a learning curve.
And so it's so wild because I was already on Entreprenista, and that's how we could. I remember I listened to you on the Girls Make Bank podcast. You
Yeah.
had been interviewed by Jack White. And I was like, all right, I don't hate this girl's voice. I wouldn't mind talking to her. And like the things that she is saying, they are speaking to me. She's talking to me. I am that person she's talking
That's
about
so funny, and you did end up having to hear my voice all the time, so
all the
it's
time, and I
good that you
love
didn't
it.
mind
Yes.
it.
So I remember listening to this, and I also remember being frustrated because I had put out like some flyers, like trying to promote or sell or honestly shove down people's throats end of year cleanups.
Mhm.
And I shared them on Entreprenista and whatnot, and I didn't get a single like, comment, post, message.
No love. Rude.
And it's like, yeah, it's like, "Ugh, you're doing this wrong, Melissa, and you need to help because this is it. Like, I'm not going back to working for somebody else. So how am I gonna make this happen? So there you were. I was like, yeah, let's do it. I remember I was interviewing somebody else, and you were the second interview I did, and honestly, we just vibed.
Yeah, we did vibe so much that we talk about personal stuff half the time.
Yes,
We continue to vibe.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I
I
got here.
I
Yeah.
had the same experience, loved you, and you were such a quick learner was, like, the thing that stood out to me. So, let's talk about, like, the beginning. So, the first thing that we do when we work together is build out a strategic spark. So,
Yes.
I interviewed you and you got your strategic spark, which basically outlines what your marketing and sales strategy should be. What were your thoughts from that experience?
You remember I said, "Sarah, I'm overwhelmed."
Yeah.
And I did what I always do when that happens. I just closed it. I shut it down. I was like, "I can't look at this because I'm overwhelmed."
Yeah.
But back because, well, like, you have to do it, Melissa, and so you walked me through it. You helped me, like, piece it together and, like, break it down, and somehow we got there, and I remember that I my biggest takeaway from this was, like, my gateway offer. We talked about that. Oh my
Mhm.
god, and my active lead generator, that was, like, the first sprint that we did
Yes.
last year, and I was like, "Yeah, but I feel like I need something else." So, couple of things. So, like, my gateway offer, I just want you to know that I have an email sitting in my inbox from yesterday that I need to reply to from this in person contact here in Denver who reached out and was like, "Melissa, I want to talk to you about what it would look like for you to take a look at our financials to see if, like, we're ready for your end in taxes." And I was like, "I have an offer for this.
It's
My
already
nice
built.
offer, yes." So
Yes.
that is what I'm gonna offer her.
Awesome.
Thought about you. And then I remember at that point, like, I had, like, my my little CRM that I put together over Christmas so that I could send Christmas cards. Less
That
annoying
less
CRM.
annoying. Yeah. Is that the one you're still using?
It's still there. Am I using
It
it?
exists, however.
Your girl needs help, but it's still there. And yeah, but that was it. So it's like, I'm not doing anything with this, Sarah. What, like, all right, let's get you on Flow Desk. Let's start your newsletter. And I started it. And I feel like now that I think about all of that, it's like it all works together, right? Like,
Yeah.
your in person network and your digital network and your marketing, like, none of these things live in silos. They all work together. And so I'm so grateful that I started that newsletter, even if it's, like, been neglected for the past month or so, because I'm
Yeah,
so
I haven't been getting them.
yeah, pumped. But I'm gonna revive it. Don't you worry. Because here's the thing, like, I will get random people messaging me throughout the year. It's not always the same person, and it's not every edition of my newsletter, but, like, people from my in-person network and from my digital network will get an edition and, like, read it, and something will resonate with them, and they'll let me know. So it's like, oh, this is how it all comes together.
Yeah, that's how you as I creepily always put it, like, how you warm up that relationship. You bring them a little
Yeah,
bit closer because 'cause they'll reply to those emails, and then you start that
yeah,
one-on-one conversation.
yeah. So yeah, so it's been great, and, like, I have reconnected with people, um, not just from my efforts now, but from, like, what I call my 2 or 3 past lives, like,
Yeah.
10, 20 years ago, that have been following my marketing efforts, that have been coached by you. And they have responded and it's resonated with them. So, yeah, it's come a long way.
You have, you have. You went from no marketing and now you're doing, like, all of the things. So,
Yeah.
let's just work through your marketing system now. You're doing in-person events. They
Yes.
are generally getting on your email list,
Yes.
and your email is being fed primarily through your podcast that you launched.
Yes.
So it's an ecosystem that you've built where one thing feeds the next, feeds the next. Can you tell me about your podcast?
I remember saying I am never going to have my own podcast. I'm not a podcaster. I'm an accountant. Um,
But
and that just,
then
yeah, but then, so it seemed to be like, oof, like so big and like so overwhelming and like so insurmountable. And it's because before Tiny Marketing Club, nobody had laid it out to me that like, oh, you really can start low budget, number one. Number two, you don't have to be interviewing anybody if you don't want to. Number three, you don't have to be speaking for an hour or even 30 minutes. You can
Mhm.
do this in like 6 to 8 minutes
Yeah.
and like have great content. And then I'm not ashamed to say, people ask me all the time, like, I lean into AI. Like, yes, I am the creative master behind it because I tell my little chatty, like you call them,
Chatty
what I want to,
Gigi.
my chatty. I tell her, hey, I want to talk about this, and I created my own GPT that she already knows how long it needs to be, what like things she needs to hit, or what the format is. Um, it's just like all of it. And so I just tell her I want to talk about this, and she helps me put together the script. And I read it for the most part, but then I can also add in my personality, and it's honestly one of the most fun things that I do.
Yeah, and it's going well. You hit what is it? Like the top was it the top 30 in accounting?
Yeah, 20 top 23, I think,
That's
in
freaking
accounting podcast.
awesome, and you
Yeah.
only launched it a couple months ago.
Yeah, the beginning of July. And it was, I think I was at 12 episodes and I had already surpassed 500 downloads.
Yeah, she surpassed me, by the way, like, way, way faster. I think gosh, I showed you the analytics, like, how long it took me to get there, and I think it was like a year.
Yeah. But I think so, a lot of people in my industry don't know about marketing or are hesitant or will question if like they really want to do it. And like, there's a couple of things that you have to do in the beginning of a project that you really should invest in so that you can get some sort of fast ROI, because that is going to keep you motivated, right? And
Yeah,
so marketing, I think it's one of those when you're launching your own business, because this is going to help you like shorten the time where you convert and start bringing in revenue. I mean, which is important. I needed to get paid personally.
yeah,
Um, but also it sort of gives you validation that your business, that there's a need for it, that people want it. And with marketing, it's the same, right? Like with the podcast, you coached me through it, and like I identified a group of people that already knew me and loved me, and I told them about the podcast and I asked them for their help. I also offered to like give something in return.
mhm.
Um, and they all jumped at the idea and said yes and helped me really promote my podcast
Yeah,
during
you have a
that launch
ton of
week.
reviews already.
Yeah,
And so, like, my podcast sucked at the beginning. I was going from scratch. I didn't know what I was doing, but that was 5 or 6 years ago at this point. So I put everything that I've learned over those 6 years into that sprint. And
yeah,
what Melissa's referring to right now is what we call the street team. So she built a street team of her already existing fans, and they helped promote the podcast, get the reviews out there really early, and get as many ears on her podcast as she could.
yeah. I have around 35 reviews on Apple Podcasts only. So
Yeah,
like
it's
I have
amazing.
additional ones on Spotify, and then some people have even commented, or like I have a lot of views on my YouTube also. It's mind blowing. I never thought it would be like this. I never thought that I would enjoy it this much, but I like it. And I like that, like, how you're always saying, like, people want to hear your voice. People want to see you because they want to get to know you. And then
Mhm.
you're absolutely right. They feel like they are your besties. Um,
Yeah.
I at the conference I was just at, some people were like, "Oh, I listened to your podcast."
That's
And
awesome.
thank you for the reminder. I have to do this. And I'm like,
Yeah, it's called a parasocial relationship. When
wow,
you it's like, yeah, people who creators have this parasocial relationship with their listeners or viewers where it feels like you guys know each other because
yeah,
it's one-sided.
yeah. And this is me, right? Like, you
Yeah.
know me. Like, this is me. The way that I am on my podcast with the eye rolling and the sass and the Spanglish, like all of that, that's me. And so that has been really good. But it feels, even though I'm reading a script, it feels to me more natural um than like making a random video online. Or even I know that with the active lead generators, I know you don't love this, but you would like, oh, host a webinar or like a master class or whatnot. Those are not great for me because I feel very disconnected from the audience, because usually what I'm presenting is covering people's faces. And so it makes me feel like I'm talking to myself.
Yeah.
Um, and it just makes me uncomfortable. I don't feel like I come across as natural or relaxed. And so the podcast has given me a way to like tick all of those boxes in in a way that feels natural to me.
Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna experiment inside of the club and find
Yes.
maybe you do hate this thing, and that's okay, we'll
Yeah.
cut it.
Yeah.
Like, the idea is to build a system that you like, that you
Yeah.
enjoy, otherwise you're not gonna do it.
Yeah. And then I'll throw a freebie in my podcast and like say, hey, if you like want this checklist or whatever, and people will go, and then I have a new person added to my
Yeah, I was just
newsletter.
gonna ask that. How have you turned your podcast into a lead generator? That's the perfect way to do it.
I will have like, oh, do you like, what if you need to clean up like credit card charges or vendors? Here is a checklist for you to do like a self review. Or if you don't know how to fill out a W-9, like here is the guide to do it for you. And so just things that are useful for people and add value and they can use on their own, because the whole premise of the podcast is to help people that are DIYing
Mhm.
their bookkeeping. So they'll grab it. But something interesting has happened too. Bookkeepers are following me, and
Hmm.
they are signing up. This I know that they're signing up, like listening to my podcast, because I will get somebody from an email that says bookkeeping, I don't know, LLC or whatever, right? And so it's because they downloaded a freebie that I put out there,
Nice.
whether
So
it's to judge, to use it themselves, to give it to
yeah,
clients, I don't know, but yeah, it's
it's
interesting that
validation that you
yeah,
know what you're doing.
yeah, yeah. And a lot of the comments that I get are from fellow accountants also. We had something made an episode about the bank feeds in QBO, which have driven everybody insane with the updates that have come out this year. And I was just talking about how like, oh, my Adobe subscription, QBO was coding it to meals and entertainment. And I said something like, oh, I don't know about you, but I've never eaten a PDF. And yeah, one of the CPAs on my network, she does work way more elevated than bookkeeping. She said it, she was like, I was laughing the entire time through this
Oh my
episode.
gosh, hold on. Does that mean like so QuickBooks thinks that it's Qdoba, the restaurant? Is that what's
It could
happening?
be, yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know what's going on, and so now with AI, there's a lot of things that get automatically added, and it's hard to find them until like you're reviewing the financials, and so yeah, who
Mm.
knows what it's thinking, but we all hate it.
Accounting jokes.
Yes.
Oh my god, I was watching Parks and Rec last night, which is my one of my seasonal affective disorder shows to make me laugh when it's dark out. And, Ben was doing his accounting jokes.
Oh, I've never watched this show.
Oh my gosh. Well, you're missing out.
I'm hooked on South Park this year.
It's pretty good this year.
Pretty good. Yes.
Yeah, my husband pulled it up and we were just, like, crying.
Yes. Yeah. Hilarious.
Okay, I wanna talk about your digital networking now.
Yeah.
So, you are killing it so hard at digital networking that people are inviting you to teach them how to do it. So, tell me all about that. Do you have a process?
I had a process. In the
What
very
happened?
uh, in the very beginning, I had a process, and it's like I tell everybody when you're starting out, like, my workload in the beginning, it's very different than it is right now. And like at the beginning, it was very heavily focused on like marketing and promoting myself and all of that. And I'm still doing that, but now I'm like, it's crunch time for me, year end, to get ready for the beginning of the year. So it's different. But in the beginning, when I didn't have much to do, um, I started honestly posting, and I did something that a lot of your peeps don't like,
What?
but I am grateful that I started doing it. I bought into these pre-packaged Canva templates.
Oh, I like that too.
There are companies out there that will do it for accountants, for tax people, for bookkeepers, but also for all sorts of industries, right? And a dear friend of mine that put together my website for me, she also helped put together branding guidelines. And so I had the names of the fonts and of the colors that were used on my website. And she taught me how to like apply those into
Nice.
a template. And so back in the day when I had no idea how to like market myself or where like what content to create or put out there, these templates saved like it's a grounding tool for me to just like here's something that is visually appealing, and you can put it out there and not feel embarrassed by it. And yeah, so that's how it started. And with that, I joined the entreprenista community, and that was a launch pad, but I don't know that everybody needs to. Like, if you're a guy, you can't join Entreprenista, but you can still grow your digital network, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And you can find
I
similar
think
tools like this.
yeah, the takeaway of that is you joined a niche community. It was a niche online community.
Yes, it was a niche online community, which is important regardless of the industry that you're in, to associate with other people that are going through similar things that you are. And so I had that with my accounting community for accounting practice related questions and commiserating. But as a founder, like some of these people had, or the majority of these people have more years of experience than I had been doing it longer. I needed people that were early stage like me
Mhm.
and wanted to like gain visibility online and all of that. And so I know this is a big no,
I'm
but I
curious what
joined
it
a
is.
pod. I joined a LinkedIn pod.
Ah. No, I don't mind them if they're with the right people.
Right. And I know that LinkedIn frowns upon them, but for me, it was a game changer, because here is the thing about social media that what I use it for. Like, if you go networking in person, which is still very important, we're not saying that it is not, but if you go into a networking event in person, you can meet a lot of people. I am terrible with like faces and names. I need to see a person multiple times, and hear their name and be reminded of what they do to like make it stick. And I am
I'm the
sure
same
that
way.
I'm not alone in
No.
that, right?
No, I'm
And
the same
so
way.
by joining this pod, we were the OGs. I'm in two from Entreprenista, but the OGs. We joined this pod and we were posting every day. And now I am seeing their names, what their specialty is, because I am consuming their content daily. So now their face is associated to a job title and to their expertise. Like, I will never forget Lauren Berkusen is an attorney who helps with trademarks and IP, right?
Same.
And that is how she became my trademark attorney. Um, the same with like Nicole, a virtual assistant, Lori, the offer magician, right? And
Who's just on the
so,
show.
oh yay, can't wait for the episode. Is it out?
I think that one's out, yeah.
Okay, I have to catch up. Um, but like it helped with them connect in that way, and then we are boosting each other's visibility, and so people outside of that network are telling me now, hey Melissa, my LinkedIn newsfeed is like filled with your posts and your activity and the comments that you're making in other people's pages. But going back to that community, now that pod, we've disbanded a little bit in the sense that like we're not maybe as active posting every day or commenting on the posts every day, but I know these people, I count them as my friends. And in this podcast we talk about, somebody told us that she's having a baby. um like they will share about a trip that they took, or photos of their Halloween costume when they were kids, or when they were being trolled in a different social media platform and we rallied around them. Even things that are not appropriate to be discussed in this podcast or on socials, we talk about them there. And
Yeah.
the pod started with a group of people, and some of them like very quickly like disappeared into the background, but some of them were even reading the comments. And she popped up at some point and said, I just want to say that I've been super silent and super quiet, but I've been going through a very hard year, and coming in and like looking at like the sisterhood and the support in this little WhatsApp chat
Mhm.
um, has been reassuring and has lifted me up. And so I think that's has been one of the biggest things that I have taken from social media, and just showing up on myself. So like these connections that I make on social get the same version of Melissa that you get in person, or that you get on the podcast, or that you
Yeah.
get working with me as a client. And then I've compounded that with the things that I have learned from you, with like other niche communities, or even like, so I have met some entrepreneurs in person outside of the ones that live in Colorado. Erin Pohen was, she's a bookkeeper. She's in the Seattle area. She was coming to Denver for the Bridging the Gap conference. And
I
she
remember you
also,
telling me about that.
yeah, and she also hosted her own conference earlier this year in Seattle. Hers was a 1 day conference. And I passed on her conference because it wasn't financially feasible for me then. But when she was coming, she was interested in like meeting up in person. And I said, you know what? I still need CPE credit. This is a renewal year. I am going to go on a conference. And we met, and I met her, and I met Erica, and I met Christina, and then I also met David Lamb, who was my first podcast guest interview.
Aw.
Um, he found me last year. Yeah. And so he has a tech company, taking AI assistance, and Bridging the Gap was the first time he was going to be out and about talking about his product. And so I got to meet them all in person. So yeah, it's cool because you have shown up genuinely. These people have shown up genuinely as well, and then you get to meet them in person, and now, yeah, they're part of my real network.
Yeah. Yeah, I always talk about, like, it's making friends at scale is what networking is, because truly, I don't care if I make money from this relationship or not. I
Yeah.
just want a genuine relationship.
Yes. Yeah, and that's it. If you show up with the intent of like, how can I help you? What can I do for you? How can I support you? Rather than trying to pitch slap somebody,
Yeah, never
um,
works.
you're gonna get so much more out of it. Whether it's now or it's in the future, like some good juju is gonna come your way. Plus, life is better with friends.
Yeah, entrepreneurship can be so lonely.
Yeah.
So, like, these people become your friends, they become your coworkers.
Yes. Absolutely. Yep.
So, before we wrap up, I want to connect the dots because the point of Tiny Marketing Club is to get booked out.
Yes.
And I think you were at like the 90-day mark when you got booked out.
Yeah.
So,
All
let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So, I mean, all of the marketing, just taking the chance of like, first, I'm going to use these random templates and go out there. And then I'm going to recognize that I need a strategy, so that I can market with intention and get guidance from a professional like you. Led me to have visibility, but not just visibility for vanity metrics, but also so that I could get my message and show my expertise and connect with people that, yes, have referred me business, but also have had other people that have come to me directly, not because they were referred by anybody else, but they said, hey, I have seen your content online and I think I need to work with you.
Now, if you were to break it down, what single thing do you think that you shifted in your business that resulted in the majority of your new clients?
I Yes, for this first year, there's a lot about pricing or like all or nothing, and I think what stuck with me was your thing about these gateway offers. Like people need to get a feeling of what it is that you can do for them and how you can work with them. And I think that changed it. And so, in the beginning, I wasn't necessarily looking to do bookkeeping, um, but understanding that there's clients there that are maybe not ready to hire me as their controller, but do want sound financial systems and support. Maybe I need to come up with an offer that is more accessible to them. I think that that's what changed it. And once I did that, like I'm turning down meetings right now.
Yeah, it become the gateway offer was also, like, the thing for me that once I had that in place, it was systematically easy to bring client in because I was able to build that trust, build a foundation for them to be ready to work with me on the bigger thing, and I'm not trying to push them something that's a year-long container right off the bat when we're just getting to know each other.
Yeah. And so it was learning how can I add value to this person in a way that it is still financially sensible to me, but it's also approachable to them.
Yeah. I if I remember correctly, the first thing we looked at was like, what is the challenge that people are coming to you with when they first talk to you? What's
Yeah.
the pain that they feel in that moment before they realize all of the other cool things that you can do? And we
Yeah.
built it around that.
Yeah. And so now for this new year, what you will see and we will be working on together
Mhm.
is that I want to refine that process of like, okay, if you are that business that is not ready for a fractional controller, I will have an offering for you. It will not be me holding your hand on the day to day, but it will be a team that is led by me, that is learning from me. And those financials will get a review before they go out the door so that you're comfortable that somebody, a CPA with 22 years of experience
Yeah.
has your back. And then figuring out what the path looks like to grow you from that to additional support. Maybe we're doing your accounts payable now and your accounts receivable, and we're helping you manage cash to where finally you're at the point where maybe you have an in-house small accounting team, but you can't hire an expert to manage them, and I can be your fractional controller.
Hmm.
And now you're working directly with
Yeah.
me.
So like a staircase of like you need
Correct.
to accomplish this mission, then this one, and
Correct.
then this one. That makes
Correct.
sense.
And making it easy for people to like join my practice as clients based on what they are at. It doesn't mean that everybody needs to start at the bottom step.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can customize it and place them in the offer that makes sense for them.
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to working on that.
Yep.
How can people find you online and how can they work with you?
Yes. So you can find me online as Melissa Armstrong CPA on LinkedIn. That is honestly the fastest and best way to get a hold of me. I do look at those DMs. If I am ignoring you, it's because you're pitch slapping me. I don't do that. Um, Otherwise, you can also email me at info@steadyhandaccounting.com. And you can listen to my podcast, No Se Habla Taxes, in any of the podcast platforms, the one that you prefer.
Awesome. I'll have all of those links in the show notes. Thanks for coming on the show today.
Always a fun time, Sarah.
You love all things tiny marketing, head down to the show notes page and sign up for the wait list to join the Tiny Marketing Club, where you get to work one-on-one with me with trainings, feedback, and pop-up coaching that will help you scale your marketing as a B2B service business. So I'll see you over in the club.